A storm is coming to Godolphin University, but this time it's not made of blood or fire. It's made of truth. Annabeth's vision isn't just a dream, it's a warning, a glimpse into the madness that's about to swallow every Supe who thought they were safe. In one haunting moment, she sees everything: the burning campus, the screams, and a reflection of herself she can't recognize. What if Annabeth's vision is more than a nightmare? What if it's the key to understanding how Gen V connects directly to the boys? A storm is coming to Godolphin University, but this time it's not made of blood or fire. It's made of truth. Annabeth's vision isn't just a dream, it's a warning, a glimpse into the madness that's about to swallow every Supe who thought they were safe. In one haunting moment, she sees everything: the burning campus, the screams, and a reflection of herself she can't recognize. What if Annabeth's vision is more than a nightmare? What if it's the key to understanding how Gen V connects directly to the boys? The moment Annabeth slips into her vision, everything changes. The sound fades, the air bends, and time itself feels broken. She isn't in the real world anymore. She's trapped inside a version of reality that feels alive, angry, and desperate to tell her something. The walls of Godolphin are still there, but they're melting, almost breathing, as if the school itself is in pain. The once bright halls are now soaked in a deep crimson light, flickering like an emergency warning that never ends. It's beautiful and horrifying all at once. At first, she doesn't understand what she's seeing. The campus stretches endlessly, the sky above is a burning red, and the ground is covered in cracked glass instead of grass. Every reflection she passes shows her a different face. Marie's eyes crying blood, Kate's smile twisting into guilt, Jordan standing in the flames with their hands shaking. These aren't random images. Each one means something. The vision is showing her the corruption that lives beneath the surface, the truth that no Supe wants to face. They're not heroes. They're weapons. As Annabeth walks forward, she hears faint whispers echoing from the shadows, voices of her classmates, maybe even echoes of herself. "We're chosen. We're perfect," the whispers say, but they sound broken, forced, like words repeated by people who don't believe them anymore. Every step she takes feels heavier, like the ground is pulling her down. That's when she sees it. The statue. The massive marble monument of Homelander that stands proudly in the real Godolphin courtyard is cracked open in her vision. The face is split in half, one side still smiling, the other bleeding black liquid like corrupted V. The symbol of power is rotting right in front of her. This is the heart of Annabeth's vision, a world where the mask of heroism finally breaks. Homelander's cracked statue isn't just a warning about him, it's a prophecy about every Supe who's been built in his image. The perfect facade of Vaught's creation is collapsing, and Annabeth is the first to see it happen. The fire spreads fast, flames crawl up the walls, eating through posters of smiling Supes and shiny recruitment banners. But these aren't normal flames. They burn cold blue, the color of Compound 5. The same substance that gave them power is now the fire that consumes them. It's poetic. The thing that made them gods is also what's destroying their world. As she turns, Annabeth sees a reflection of herself in the glass of a broken classroom door. But it's not her as she knows it. This version of her is covered in streaks of blue light running through her veins, her eyes glowing, her voice whispering things she can't understand. It's as if the vision is showing her two versions of her future, one where she becomes part of the chaos, and one where she fights to stop it. The line between savior and monster is blurring, just like everything else around her. Then the whispers stop, replaced by screams. Familiar faces flash in front of her, students she knows, professors she trusted, all begging for help as invisible hands pull them into the burning sky. Above them, the Vought logo flickers in and out of existence like a dying signal, repeating one single phrase: "For the greater good." The message is clear. The company will burn everything to keep their illusion alive, And then, for a moment, the vision slows. The camera of her mind focuses on something small, a bird frozen mid-flight, made entirely of shattered glass. It hangs in the air, suspended between life and death, before crumbling into dust. This is the most haunting part of Annabeth's vision. It's the death of innocence, the quiet end of everything she believed about being a Supe. But the vision isn't done yet. Out of the ashes, she sees Marie, standing alone, her hands glowing with energy, surrounded by fallen Supes. Her face is calm, too calm, like someone who's already accepted what's coming. In that single moment, Annabeth understands something she can't explain. This isn't a random nightmare. It's a preview of what's next. The fall of Godolkin, the beginning of the Super War. When she finally wakes up, she's drenched in sweat, her heartbeat pounding like a drum. The world around her is quiet again, but she can't shake the images. The fire, the voices, the broken faces, they feel too real to be imagination. Every time she blinks, she sees Homelander's cracked statue, and she knows what it means. The age of control is ending. Annabeth's vision isn't just showing her the destruction of a school, it's showing her the death of a system, one built on lies, fear, and the illusion of heroism. The vision doesn't come to her as punishment, it comes as a warning, a message from whatever power created Supes in the first place. The world you built is breaking. Choose your side before it burns. And with that, Gen V Season 2 sets the tone for what's to come. Not a story of students becoming heroes, but of heroes realizing they were never free to begin with. Annabeth's vision doesn't exist in isolation. It's not just a haunting dream trapped within the walls of Godolkin University. It's a pulse that travels far beyond, echoing through the entire world of the boys. Every image she sees, every sound she hears, every symbol that burns in her mind connects to something much bigger, something that began long before she was born. Her vision is the thread that ties Gen V directly into the boys, weaving the two stories into a single, terrifying prophecy. To understand that, we have to look at what the boys has always been about: corruption disguised as heroism. Vought International built its empire on lies. They sold the idea of heroes to a world desperate for hope, all while experimenting, manipulating, and murdering behind the curtain. But in Genesis 5, that curtain starts to tear. Annabeth's vision is the rip that lets us peek behind it. When she sees the cracked Homelander statue, it isn't just about him falling, it's about the collapse of everything he represents: blind worship, fake morality, and the myth of the perfect Supe. In The Boys, Homelander's story has always been one of unchecked power, a god without purpose, driven by ego and loneliness. But in Genesis 5, the younger generation is different. They were born into the system. They don't question Vought because they've never known a world without it. That's why Annabeth's vision is so dangerous. It's awakening a generation that was designed to obey. When she sees the campus on fire, she's not just witnessing destruction, she's witnessing liberation. The old order burning away. If you look closely, her vision mirrors the chaos in The Boys Season 4. Homelander standing on trial, his followers treating him like a messiah, and Butcher losing his humanity in the name of revenge. It all feeds into Annabeth's nightmare. The blue flames she sees in her vision might not be literal fire. They might be Compound 5 spreading uncontrollably, mutating, infecting, evolving. What if the next phase of V isn't about giving powers, but about taking control? About rewriting the DNA of every Supe until they're not even human anymore? That would explain the blue veins glowing in Annabeth's reflection. It's not just fear, it's transformation. And then there's the woods, the secret facility that haunted every episode of Gen V Season 1. We know it's where Vought performed experiments on students, but what if the woods wasn't just a lab? What if it was a network, a psychic web connecting Supes through their shared DNA? That would mean Annabeth's vision isn't just hers. It's a broadcast, a psychic echo rippling across every mind that's ever been touched by Compound V. In other words, she's not dreaming, she's receiving. Someone or something is sending her a message. And that someone might not be human. Remember how the boys introduced Victoria Newman, the super with the power to make heads explode? She's a perfect example of Vaught's hidden manipulation, a weapon disguised as a politician. Now imagine Vought creating an entire generation of Supes who can be controlled not by fear, but by thought. Annabeth's vision could be the first sign of that mental link activating, the first glitch in a system Vought thought it could control. There's also a deeper emotional link. In The Boys, Butcher fights to destroy Supes because he sees them as monsters. But in Generation 5, Annabeth's story challenges that belief. Her vision forces us to see Supes as victims, people trapped in a system that never gave them a choice. The burning campus isn't punishment, it's the cry of a generation realizing their creators lied to them. That's what makes her vision so heartbreaking. Fans have noticed how the timing aligns too. If you piece together the timeline, Annabeth's vision could be happening at the same time Homelander faces public trial in The Boys. The sky turning red, the earth shaking, the sense of something ending, it's all connected. It's as if the universe itself is reacting to the moral decay of its most powerful beings. Her vision becomes the spiritual reflection of the chaos in the real world, a parallel apocalypse where the old gods crumble and the new ones are too afraid to rise. And here's where it gets even darker. Vought may already know about her vision. In a world where every Supe is monitored, every cell recorded, and every thought categorized, Annabeth's experience could trigger alarms inside Vaught's system. They'll see her as a threat, the girl who saw too much. And we know what happens to Supes who become inconvenient. The woods doesn't bury bodies, it buries memories. Annabeth's awakening could be the spark that ignites the crossover we've all been waiting for. The Boys versus the Supes of Godolkin. Her vision might be the warning that tells Butcher where to strike next, or the clue that leads Starlight to the truth about Vaught's next evolution project. It's no longer just about controlling heroes, it's about rewriting what it means to be human. The beauty of this connection is how subtle it is. The writers aren't forcing the crossover, they're letting it bleed naturally. Through Annabeth's mind, we see both worlds colliding, one built on power, the other on fear. One ruled by gods, the other by ghosts. And somewhere in between stands Annabeth, the bridge between the next generation of Supes and the broken world that created them. Her vision isn't just about the end of Godolkin, it's the beginning of the fall of Vought. And maybe, just maybe, the rise of something even more dangerous. Supes who finally understand the truth. Annabeth's vision isn't just a warning of destruction, it's a prophecy of transformation. The flames, the broken faces, the crumbling statue of Homelander, all of it points toward a single terrifying truth. The world of Supes is about to change forever. What she saw wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something new. A new breed of power, a new kind of rebellion, and a new understanding of what it means to be human in a world built by lies. When Annabeth wakes from the vision, she isn't the same person anymore. She looks around Godolkin, and everything feels different. Too quiet, too staged, like the illusion has finally cracked. For the first time, she sees the truth hiding beneath the surface. The smiles of her classmates now look forced, the teachers' voices sound rehearsed, and the walls that once felt safe now feel like a cage. That's the real power of the vision. It opens her eyes. It doesn't give her answers, but it removes the comfort of ignorance. And once you've seen the truth, you can't unsee it. This shift in her perspective is what Season 2 will revolve around. Annabeth's struggle is no longer just about survival, it's about understanding. What does it mean to be a Supe in a world that sees you as a product? What does it mean to have power when every part of that power was manufactured, tested, and sold? Her vision plants these questions deep in her mind, and as the season unfolds, they'll start to spread, infecting others, just like Compound V. But her vision also carries another meaning, one that touches every part of the boy's universe. The blue fire that burns in her dream isn't just symbolic of chaos, it represents evolution. The next stage of Compound 5, the substance that once created soups, is mutating, adapting, learning. And if the scientists at Vought have started experimenting with psychic or multidimensional aspects of V, that means Annabeth might be seeing not just the future, but alternate realities. In one world, the soups win. In another, they destroy everything. The vision could be showing her every possible outcome and warning her about the one she's destined to face. The cracked Homelander statue becomes even more meaningful when viewed through this lens. It's not just about Homelander falling, it's about the collapse of false gods. It's about the end of blind worship. Homelander was built to be the symbol of perfection, indestructible, righteous, godlike. But even gods bleed when their followers lose faith. Annabeth's generation, the Gen V students, are beginning to see that the people they were told to idolize are nothing more than victims of the same system that created them. Her vision, then, isn't just about destruction, it's about awakening, the death of one belief system to make room for another. Now imagine what that means for the boys. Billy Butcher has always fought to destroy soups because he sees them as the disease. But what if Annabeth's vision proves that they're actually the cure? That the only way to end Vaught's control is for the new generation of soups to rise, not as heroes, but as revolutionaries. The fire in her vision might be the spark of that rebellion, the moment when Godolkin stops being a school and becomes a battleground. In this future, the students aren't just experiments anymore, they're evidence, living proof that Vought has gone too far. Annabeth, Marie, Kate, and Jordan aren't just survivors, they're witnesses. They've seen the system from the inside. They've lived the lies, swallowed the propaganda, and suffered the side effects of a science built on greed. The moment Annabeth sees the world burn in her mind, she realizes what must happen. The truth must come out, no matter the cost. There's also an emotional layer hidden within the chaos of the vision, one that connects deeply to Annabeth's character. The fear she feels isn't just of death or destruction, it's of becoming the very thing she hates. The version of herself with glowing blue veins, whispering in the dark, is her greatest nightmare. The possibility that she's already infected by the same evil she wants to fight. That duality, savior versus monster, is what will define her story. She'll have to face the idea that maybe she can't save the world without first losing a part of herself. This is where the genius of Gen V lies. The show doesn't just explore superpowers, it explores identity. It asks what happens when you realize that your entire existence was someone else's experiment. Annabeth's vision is the emotional mirror of that horror. It reflects her inner conflict, her guilt, her fear, her anger. But it also hints at her potential. Because hidden beneath all the blood and fire, there's one thing that stands out: resilience. Despite everything, she keeps moving forward. She doesn't run, she faces the chaos head-on. In that final image of her vision, Marie standing alone in the ruins, lies the seed of the future. Marie might be the one to lead the change, but Annabeth is the one who saw it coming. Her vision sets the stage for what's next, the war between the manufactured and the free, between those who obey Vaught's command and those who want to break it forever. And that's what makes Gen V Season 2 so thrilling. It's not just a continuation, it's a transformation. The vision isn't just a plot device, it's the prophecy of a new world. One that will decide the fate of every soup and every human who ever believed in the myth of a hero. Annabeth saw the future. Now the question is, will she try to stop it? or become the reason it happens.